Okay. Okay.
Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and exhaling any feelings of worry, stress or tension. That's right. As you breathe in and breathe out, just get a sense that your eyelids are getting heavier, more relaxed. If there's any tension around your eyebrows or forehead, become aware of it. And on the next outward breath, just release that tension. That's it. Noticing any tension in your jaw, your neck or your shoulders. As you continue to breathe in and breathe out, each outward breath releasing just slightly more of that tension. I want you to create an image in your mind of a hydraulic machine. Perhaps something from maybe 200 years ago, an old mechanical hydraulic machine. And I want you to get a sense that pressure is designed to be created in order to create force. But sometimes in these old machines, the pressure would get trapped. And that's why they have these release valves. So as you breathe in this resourceful feeling of relaxation, I want you to imagine on your outward breath, you're releasing trapped tension in your body. This mechanical machine creaking under the pressure of all of this forced hydraulic pressure all building up. Just feel that on each and every outward breath, you're releasing that pressure. And notice the impact on your body that it has. Neck and shoulders just seem to relax. Arms and legs just become limp, loose, heavy. Breathe in this resourceful feeling of relaxation, and I want you to get a sense that as you breathe in this resourceful feeling of relaxation, it's the equivalent of oiling this creaky machinery. And as you exhale, again, just releasing the pressure of this hydraulic machine that if it doesn't release the pressure, it could break. A bolt could fly off in a different direction, but when the pressure is released, the machine can work in a more optimal way. And just get a sense that slowly, breath by breath, the tension in the machine that is your body is being released. Create an image in your mind of a child carrying a helium balloon. And maybe it's one of those ones that's a character, some kind of cartoon character that they're just holding, seeing it floating. And just imagine how it would feel if your head was filled with helium. It required no tension to keep it upwards. It was just there, just gently moving in the breeze. And notice that feeling of lightness in your head enables you to release even more of that tension, taking you to a place of deep relaxation, calm, and tranquility. And I want you to imagine an old wooden armchair. A wooden armchair with wooden arms. And I want you to imagine you sitting in that armchair, feeling relaxed. And I want you to imagine that the phone rings nearby, with a name that you recognize. Just imagine you're feeling relaxed and you just hold the phone up to your ear and you hear a voice that you recognize and feel an immediate feeling of gratitude and connection. And just notice where that feeling of gratitude and connection is in your body. Because maybe it's your heart, your chest, or somewhere else in your body. But get a sense that you value the connection you have, one person with another person. That you have good intentions for that person, and that person has good intentions for you. And I want you to imagine, as you think about having a conversation, a connection with someone, that there is no expectation as to what you get from this call. Your focus very much is on the words that they say, the flow of communication. And notice that when you're connecting, not with a client, but with a friend, you don't need to have positive intentions. The positive intentions are just there. You don't need to try and communicate. Communication just flows. But there is a desire to pay attention, to listen, to seek to understand, to learn from this person and to discern more and more. And notice where this resourceful feeling is inside you. Maybe it's just a lightness, a level of relaxation, the absence of tension. And just allow that feeling to spread to every cell of your body. As you recall a time where you threw a pebble into a pond and you saw the ripples start from the point where the pebble hit the pond and rippled outwards to the entire surface of that pond. And as you connect with that feeling of positive intentions, a willingness to listen, a willingness to help, feel the ripples of that feeling start from that location and go to every cell in your body. That's right. And I want you to create an image in your mind of a cinema. I want you to imagine a doorway into a cinema, and it's your own private cinema. Only for you, no one else. It's your cinema. And imagine walking into the cinema and noticing there is something unique about this cinema. And that is that it has 3 screens in the same room. There is a screen to the left, and that represents the past. There is a screen in the middle that represents the present or the recent past. And there is a screen on the right that represents the future. And I want you to find the most comfortable chair you can find in this private cinema. And when you sit down in that chair and you can see all 3 blank screens there in front of you, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to create an image on the left-hand screen. A time in the past where you had the ability to create instant rapport and instant connection with a male client. Perhaps you can see yourself there, meeting someone for the very first time and having very positive intentions, an ability and willingness to listen, and to have complete confidence in your ability to feel calm and comfortable in that environment. And once you can see that version of you, a version from your past there in the left screen, let me know by nodding your head. And then on the right screen, this is you in the future. I want you to imagine seeing yourself 1 year from now with the qualities of that version of you in the left screen, but applied to a social situation. This is a future version of you 1 year from now, and I want you to imagine seeing yourself. Same level of rapport, same positive intentions, Same calmness, feeling of relaxation. You're just in a social situation. Maybe you're playing archery, maybe you're doing jiu-jitsu, but you're doing something that proves to yourself, convinces you that a fear that you've had is long gone. Because you can tell from the facial expressions, the posture, the movement, that version of you a year from now hasn't recently overcome this anxiety. They've got over this anxiety for a long time. They look and feel too comfortable in that situation for it to be a recent change. This is a change that's taken place months and months before. And then I want you to see that the middle screen is still blank. And to deal with this middle screen, we're going to take a different perspective. So keep your body in that chair and move your imagination to the projection booth that is beaming the signals into 3 different screens. And imagine that the projection booth is beaming into the cinema screens through bulletproof glass. And I want you to imagine that you're seeing yourself as a character, as an actor on that middle screen of a recent point in time where you saw yourself anxious in a social situation. When you can see yourself in that anxious situation on that middle screen, knowing it's just a version of you on a screen like an actor in a movie, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine playing it forward, seeing that there was a time before it started where there was no anxiety, and then something happened, it triggered you, almost like there was a ceiling over your head, almost like there was a pressure over your temples and forehead. And then see that version of you, the version of you that didn't handle that situation the way you would have wanted in that situation, and play that forward until it's the end, until you're no longer in that situation. Perhaps you're on your own again and the situation has passed. And then all I want you to do is imagine playing it forward 2 times to see the sequence of events. Maybe it was seeing someone, interacting with someone, but see that recent time where things happened in the way that you wouldn't want them to happen. And when it gets to the end and you know the sequence of events as to what happens in that memory, just let me know by nodding your head. And then I want you to imagine you're in the projection booth, and just like an old VHS recorder, I want you to imagine you've got the rewind button and you can watch it backwards. It starts at the end and you watch it backwards, seeing yourself in the end scene with no anxiety, rewinding the whole interaction. And it ends where it starts, with you also with no anxiety. See yourself talking backwards, looking backwards, moving backwards, even thinking backwards. And when it goes from the end to the beginning, everything in reverse, and you can see that like you're seeing it on a large cinema screen, just let me know by nodding your head. Jump back to the end, skip it to the end, and then just rewind. This time in slow motion, so you can see everything happening backwards, really slow, really artificial. And when it gets to the beginning, before any anxiety even occurred, just let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And then this time we're going to make it rewind, but 3 times the speed of normal life. Like, and just do that, rewind it, but in super speed, going backwards. You remember those old VHS recorders that you had slow rewind and fast rewind? This is the fast rewind. It all happening backwards. Any communication is almost like gobbledygook. It's all happening backwards, super fast. And when you know what happens when it's happening backwards, just let me know by nodding your head. And then skip it to the end of the scene. And then we're going to imagine that you float from the projection booth all the way into the character. At the end, there's no anxiety because the scene has finished. You're now in your body, there's no anxiety, and you're going to imagine experiencing it in rewind this time from a first-person perspective. Everything's happening backwards, but you see it through your own eyes. Imagine talking, thinking, moving, walking backwards through your own eyes. Everything in reverse. I want you to do that now. When you get to the beginning, again before the anxiety even happened, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Jump back to the end. This time make it faster. Everything in rewind. It all happening backwards. Hearing the words backwards. Seeing everything backwards. People around you walking, talking, thinking backwards. Then jump back to the end. This time make it even faster. It all happening backwards in your own experience, first person. Feel like you're talking backwards, thinking backwards, walking backwards. That's it. Everything in reverse one final time. It all happening backwards until it's gone so far back that you feel like you're in the body of you in that left screen where you feel calm, confident, and well-intentioned. Feel how good, and this time you're experiencing it forwards in real time, seeing the person that was in front of you and feeling how good it felt to feel calm, confident, positive, to build instant rapport. There is no intention to build a connection. It just happens through your positive intention. And notice where in your body you feel that resource state, that you feel that ability to communicate with any person, any gender, any age. You just feel that you have that gift, that ability within you. And notice where that location is and just point to that location. That's it. Take that feeling and move back to the projection booth. And you can still see on the left screen that version of you that was able to build instant rapport, instant connection. And you can see on the right-hand screen, you a year from now, able to have that resource in social situations that used to cause anxiety but don't do it anymore. And you can see that in that future screen. And then rewind that middle screen one more time and then play it forward. But this time, see yourself in that middle screen with that resource state. That version of you that is calm, is confident, has a focus not on you, but on the person that you're talking with, interacting with. And see that resourceful version of you handle the situation you would like to have handled that situation if you felt the same resources that you felt in that screen on the left. And then just play it forward. And remember, you're not just in the projection booth, you're the director of this movie. You can have it exactly as you want. See yourself with more confidence, more empathy, more positive intentions. Wind the self-consciousness down, increase the self-confidence, and see that version of you handling things the way you would have ideally wanted to have handled things in that same situation. And once you've seen yourself the way you would have wanted to have been, let me know by nodding your head. Jump back to the beginning, and this time boost it up even more of that resource state. And then just see yourself calm, confident, on screen, being able to do things you didn't think you could do in the way you would want to do them. And I want you to imagine, keep doing that. Only this time you change the middle scene. You being confident in lots of different situations. See yourself in a swimming pool, having a conversation in a calm, confident way. See yourself perhaps in an archery club, having a coffee or sharing a drink with someone and just getting to know them in a very similar way to when you're at your absolute most confident and resourceful. That's right. Swap the scene again. See yourself in that middle scene, perhaps in a jiu-jitsu club. Maybe it's your first, second, third lesson. See yourself calm, confident, resourceful. The attention isn't on you. There's no inner dialogue of worry or anxiety. Your focus, your attention is on the people around you. You're calm, you're resourceful, you're comfortable. And keep watching the scenes, you as you would want to be. And when you feel that that version in the middle screen is you seeing yourself how you would want to be in those situations, let me know by nodding your head. Jump back to the beginning and then drift from the projection booth into your body. It's now first person perspective. And this time imagine doing all those things through your own eyes, but feeling that resourceful feeling right there in your chest. Well-intentioned, positive, calm, the resourceful version of you, doing all of those things from a first-person perspective. There is no ceiling over your head. There is no pressure. Just allow that all to melt away and just feel resourceful. Feel that people are people. Everyone has issues they're going through, troubles in their life, and you're a good listener. You're good at helping people think about their lives in new and different ways. And just feel that you're able to make connections in a very natural way. There's no intention to create a friendship. It's just to listen, learn, have positive intentions, and communicate in a very natural way. When you've got to the end of that scene, jump back to the beginning and then change the scene. Change the location, change the people around you, but feel that you're in your own body, that you don't have to hit things head on. You just get to be you, the version of you that feels calm, resourceful, comfortable in different situations. Just creating positive connections with other people. That's it. And then jump to a different scene, different environment. But in each case, you remind yourself that this is nothing new. You're a good listener. You've dealt with people from all different backgrounds without judgment. You've seen people that other people would be intimidated with, and you can create genuine connections, a real feeling that you can help them in some way. And just tap into that feeling that this is you, that people are people, and you are a good listener. You're confident, you're comfortable. Feel how good it feels to be in these situations without the pressure, the expectation. And each and every time you do this, I want you to imagine that the ghosts of the past are disappearing. The trauma of the past is melting away. That's it. Feel how good it feels to be yourself, not pretending to be anyone else. To be the version of you that can just listen, that can speak to anyone. And when you feel that this is you in these environments, and you don't have to be different, you don't have to worry about judgment, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. I want you to imagine jumping out of that screen back into the projection booth, and now seeing that all screens show a resourceful version of you. The version of the past in a non-social environment, but being able to listen, connect. See yourself in the middle screen, able to deal with situations you thought you wouldn't be able to deal with, but there you are dealing with them. And then see yourself on the screen on the right a year from now, able to do all those wonderful things that you've been wanting to do, and you've done them for a while now. The world has opened up. Your life has expanded. New friendships, new connections, new social circles. It's not strange, it's not awkward, it's just you in the future, knowing that you've tapped into that resourceful part of you that was limited to one context and now it's expanded to lots of contexts. People describe you as a good friend, a good listener, loyal, someone that has their back. And you know that's true. And when all three screens, the past, the present, and the future, show you in resourceful ways, dealing in interactions with other people in a way that you would want, just let me know by nodding your head. Move from the projection booth into that version of you sat down there in the cinema screen, in that comfortable chair, again just checking that all three screens show you resourceful around people, calm, confident, not putting on a front, not pretending to be anyone you're not, just you, relaxed, calm, comfortable, because people are people. And then I want you to step into that future version of you, the final screen, to feel how it feels like to be you 1 year from now, having gotten over this. And it might not be easy, but you did it. You did what was necessary, not in a confrontational way, not in a way that required adrenaline, but just you being you, playing to your strengths, knowing you're a good person that has good intentions, that cares about other people. And feel how good it feels to live an expanded life with good friendships, good connections, good understanding, you with other people and other people with you. You're loyal to them, they're loyal to you, and just feel how good that feels, and then leave that screen and leave the cinema entirely, finding yourself back in a wooden armchair, feeling like you're just ending a conversation with just yet one other person that you have a good connection with. As you hang up the phone, you feel a sense of great pride, an accomplishment of who you are as a person and the skills that you've acquired over your life that make you a good friend, a good listener, a good person. Give yourself the acceptance that maybe people from the past weren't willing to give you. You don't have to wait for it, just give it to yourself. When you can accept yourself 100%, let me know by nodding your head. And then return to the present right now, listening to my voice. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own body, 100% here, but now able to tap into that kind, good, well-intentioned version of you. And that's the version of you that you will bring forward in any social situations. This isn't something new, it's something you can do and have done for years. Like driving a new car, you don't have to learn to drive again from scratch. It's just getting used to a slightly different vehicle. You already know how to interact with people. You're just applying that same skill in a new context. That's it. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, fully present in the moment as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.